All righty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the daily roundup. Hope you guys are doing well. You know what I forgot yesterday is I forgot to show my camera, so I will start the video for you guys today. See if you guys can see me. I've got an interview here. I'm gonna talk to Eric Bosmajin today from EPB Research. Talk to him a little bit about China because China, you know, with the Evergrande situation, growth slowing, deflationary pressures, I think he's going to have a lot to say. So it should be a really interesting interview that'll be available to you over, you know, the course of the next 24 hours or so. I think you guys are going to like it. Let's talk about what's happening in the market because obviously equities continue to weaken. I want to take you over to the S&P really quick. And as you can see, we are actually below the 38% retracement. I actually thought we'd find support here at 43.75. We kind of surpassed that, which means that the next level support is going to be 43.30. I know it's the horizontal support right there. That's the 78% retracement. I'm assuming that unless the market gets a little carried away, I'm assuming we're going to bounce here. And one of the reasons why I say that is VIX. The VIX was up 30%. It's as I tweeted out, if you follow me via Twitter and in the chat room as well. I thought that we were going to taper off a little bit, and we are. The VIX is tapering off. Currently, you know, we're up about 25% on the day. My assumption is volatility is going to come back down a little bit as equities stabilize. But I think volatility is going to stay elevated, which means that, you know, any rally that you see in equities, probably going to find some sellers. I would think that if we make it back towards 4,400, you're going to get people that are gladly looking to sell into strength today. So, you know, just think about this chart really quick. You know, if we do end up bouncing, we're probably going to find some sellers somewhere up in this neighborhood. And that's what I would be looking for today. Now, how does that translate into currencies? Well, if you are not in the chat room, just to let you guys know, I actually took off my Aussie short this morning. I've shorted it twice. I have taken off, not the Norwegian krone, I took off the dollar Mexican peso up here at the, where did I get out? I got out, whoops, right here. Let's see, where did I exit all that stuff? 2003, but let me take a look. I exited today. Today's 28. No, closing. I exited. What the? Sorry, I'm looking and that doesn't make any sense to me. Am I looking at the wrong column? Anyway, I exited right around here, whatever time that was. And then you can see I closed my rand. The reason why is because I thought that that volatility is a little too high. So I took, you know, dollar Mexican peso longs off. I took dollar rand, took that off. By the way, the dollar rand's at some pretty big resistance here. And, you know, I kept my Norwegian krona, which I'm the only reason why I kept the US dollar Norwegian krona is because I think that crude has peaked here. So, you know, at least near term, meaning for the next, you know, I don't know, maybe it could be for a day or two. I don't think that we're about ready to break crude, but break out in crude. But what probably is going to happen is we're probably going to just continue to hold that 200-day moving average and eventually break higher. So if crude does pull back a little bit, I think it's going to allow for the US dollar Norwegian krona to stay relatively bid. At least that's my thought process. So just letting you guys know about that. Also, take a look at the dollar yen. The dollar yen is finding resistance up here at the 111.60 level. I still am not really super comfortable with trading the dollar yen at this point. We're up at range highs. Is it eventually going to break out? It seems like it's going to eventually break out to me. It may be kind of limited to a breakout towards 112, but that's what I'm thinking, at least at this point in time. So anyway, just some ideas there. Also, take a look at the US dollar CNH. If you see this one consolidating, which it is, I still eventually think it's going to break higher. But in the event that it breaks higher, that's when I think we really got to be looking at, what's happening in China. What's bubbling on the surface there. So anyway. Anything else? What are you guys looking at today? You guys are awfully quiet right now. Awfully quiet. Andrea asked for gold. As you know, my opinions on gold. Where is my gold and why? I still think we're moving lower, but obviously this is going to be some pretty strong support down here. Jane asked for the Nikkei, which I'll look at here in a second. I still feel that gold's moving lower. As long as we're below the 1760 level, I still feel that we're going towards 1710. We are stabilizing though today, which, that might be a product of risk aversion, right? That's it, Lorraine, this is a good question. She asked, will I enter the Aussie dollar again before I go out of town? Not necessarily. I can, the thing about the Aussie dollar is I know where all the breakpoints are. So when I'm mobile, if we bounce back to like 72.80, I'll probably sell some. If we break below 72.20, I'll probably get short, right? So like if I'm mobile and because I look at quotes, you guys may think Blake's out of town, and he's not paying attention. But unless since I'm moving my mom, unless I'm physically actually moving stuff, I'm probably looking at quotes every 10 minutes or so. So Vlad asks how much short Aussie. Well, I think you should short 10 million in currency. I think that's what you should do. Short 10 million and then actually double mortgage your house. I don't tell you how much to trade. What you trade and what I trade are completely two totally different numbers. Vlad said, oh, levels, I mean. Well, I think that this is the breakdown point, right? So, and obviously I was joking about the whole size thing because really, again, I always tell you guys, think about it in lots of 10, or half size, quarter size, full size, because whatever is full size for you is different than what I'm going to feel, right? So this is a bear flag pattern. If we start breaking below this, 72.20 level, then there's a good chance, as long as we stay below, now you have to look at the bear, like the flag bottom, right? So if we break below 72.20, as long as we stay below here, the risk is lower, right? So if you get short, then you just want to make sure if it gets back above 72.50, 72.60, you probably are okay, well, it was a false breakdown, right? That's the way I think about it. And this flag might be, reshaping a little differently. Maybe it's shaping like this, and maybe it's, more like this, or maybe it's more like this. Maybe it's a pennant. And then that's why I said, hey, if it bounces back towards the 80s, I'll probably sell it up there. I am looking for an eventual break lower though. That's the point, right? That is my thought process. Continuing on, Oh my God, you guys asked for a lot of stuff. Really quick. Ricardo asked for the NASDAQ and S&P. All right. Well, I think I just showed you the S&P, but if I haven't, let me go back into it. I mean, here's your S&P, right? I think we're going to find some support down here. We should bounce back towards 4,400. If we bounce back towards 4,400, I'd be a seller. That's what the point I wanted to make. Now, regarding the NASDAQ, this is where we start getting a little dicey, because if we break through this support here, now you're making lower lows, right? Like, so I would think on a break lower in the NASDAQ, we should get to, 1440. And this is the NASDAQ 100, obviously. So that's what I would be thinking. Craig says silver performed better than gold today, though. Not 100% sure why. Yeah, I think just precious metals are stabilizing, because people go, well, if you think about like the attitude of precious metals and crypto traders, right? Crypto traders are probably like risk coming off selling cryptos, but I still want an inflation hedge, so I'm going to buy some gold, right? So I think gold and silver will hold if there's some risk off. I don't know if they're going to rally, but I think that they're going to, probably hold up a little bit, Hugo asked about the Euro Swiss. Yeah, I have no opinions about the Euro Swiss. Probably a short. The reason why I say that is because, we get a little bit of risk aversion. Like if stocks continue this decline, I mean, the Dow's at the lows right now. There's a lot of people trying to play the Euro Swiss on the long side. And the problem with shorting it, as many of you know, is you can have the Swiss National Bank run that trade right up your rear end. So I'd rather not be short, but I don't know if I want to be long either, because if stocks are coming down, the Swiss franc is going to be in demand, right? Chad asks, is that a thong or a G-string? That's funny. Only a few of us get that one. Carl says, I have an order to sell at 72.25 on the Aussie. Yeah, I don't think that, I think it's, it's setting up for another spill. Gavin says, dollar yen hit the 261% fib extension for me on the swing on the 4-hour chart. This is the last thing I'm going to cover today, guys, because I got to get ready for this interview. So you're saying this move right here, boop, boop. Yeah, 261% extension. Got it. Around the 110-10-ish. Yeah. Watching to see if we reverse up here for other yen pairs as well. And I don't think that's a bad idea, Gavin. I would look, what your risk is on shorting dollar yen right now. You sell it here at 36, your risk is above 70. So you're risking 35 pips. Let's just say roughly. If you're risking, like and this is, again, you could even queue off of dollar yen and short other yen pairs if you want. You could say, okay, well, I'm going to short, I'm not going to short the dollar yen. I'm going to short, like, let's say Aussie yen. Great. But if the dollar yen gets above 111.70, I need to cover, like, period, end of story. Like yeah. And Gavin says exactly, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Use the dollar yen as dollar yen as your benchmark on how to trade the other yen pairs. I do that all the time, not saying I'm doing it right now, but I do that quite a bit, especially if you see a better setup on, one of the other pairs. All right, guys and gals. Hey, look, I'm going to warn you, I am leaving for a few days. And when I leave for a few days, sometimes the poop hits the fan. So be on your toes. I'm not joking when I say, when I leave town, crazy things happen. So just like I said, be on your toes, be careful, be aware. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying it. I have this really uncanny knack of timing times away from my computer poorly. So, so Simon says, thank you for your service. Leaving town will pay my subs. Hey, guys, have a great one. I'll drive safe. You guys take care. I'll try to pop in the chat room because, like I said, I'll be mobile. I'm just, obviously my head will be elsewhere, but if I see things moving and I can jump in the chat room just to say something really quick, I will. Okay. You guys have a great one and be safe. And thank you all for your continued support. Talk to you soon.